Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show Podcast.
Here you go. It is Wednesday. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Good to have y'all here.
Anybody want to have a couple suds today? We haven't had any in a minute.
Just start drinking it up.
I can't today. I got obligations with the children.
Oh, geez.
These
Yeah.
kids.
You gotta be sober.
They ruin your buzz, Kev.
That's tough, Virginia. How do you do it, huh?
I could see how a kid could block your buzz or prolong it. Or just
Yeah.
make it kind of go.
And I mean, at least if mom and dad are both having a cocktail, like, it's cool, you know, mom and dad are doing what they want. But dad doesn't drink in my house. And so, and dad would prefer if I didn't.
So you got kids and you've got a husband. You got a lot of judgmental eyeballs looking at you, Sinicki.
And counting cocktails.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're doing that tab, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you have come in here and talked about how people count your drink.
Oh,
so
yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how often that happens. You know, does everybody kind of have to go through that, or is that a rarity?
Well, if mom and dad both have drinks, I think there's power in numbers and you can tell the kids to shut the hell up. But if mom and dad are on separate pages, like in my house,
Yeah.
the balance of power does not lie with the drinker.
So I was wondering when we could do a Bitch and the Witch podcast. Now, we would need Panda to be there, and we can't have any kids. Where are you guys at as far as, do you have a backup team to watch the kids? Does Grandma get to watch them?
Yes, so grandma can come in and pinch hit.
Oh, look at that baseball term.
Look at me. This weekend's already booked. Next weekend's already booked. And then the weekend after that is booked.
Wow.
I mean, you think I'm trying to fucking interview Mariah Carey.
Yeah, I know, huh? Good luck.
I mean, the nerve of you.
I can pencil you in for August 15th.
August 15th? No, you're not that important. The interview's over. I'm just kidding. Put it down.
Yeah, kids have more power today than they used to because of social media. And parent shaming on social media can and does happen.
And it's funny to them. And they do it. It's a thing.
Well, I'll tell you, the Mexican queen, she doesn't drink at all, hasn't during the entire pandemic. I don't know if she'll ever drink again. She's completely gone. And one of the big catalysts was a thing they were doing on TikTok. My daughter had posted up like these photos of, you know, when we've been out and been hammered, and she was so embarrassed by that. She's like, you know what, that's a terrible look. I'm not going to do that ever again.
My parents would kick my ass 9 ways on Sunday if I did some bullshit, like get them in an embarrassing moment. Hey, world, look at my dad drinking.
Yeah.
That shit wouldn't fly in my house.
And
There's no way it would work.
Yeah, so for me, I'm like, you know, whatever. But, you know, so I've definitely cut back. But yeah, I was kind of, you know, the way my wife looked at it, she's like, you know what, if I don't want her to post that stuff, I can't give her the ammunition. So it just kind of made me realize that drinking is not my thing. And so, yeah, I would not be surprised if the queen ever drinks again.
Wow.
She might be done for life.
I don't like that shit when kids who are underage posting shit without the parents knowing to make them look terrible.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It undermines the family. And I think at the core of it, I would be calling them out on it. And yes, they're right. You know, I did exhibit bad behavior and I need to watch myself. But what 2 wrongs don't make a right, and what you did was worse.
Well, and that just depends upon, you know, I guess your attitudes and how you handle it. And the thing that does kind of suck about it, or the thing that I would caution to it, is just saying, hey, look, you know, I didn't get any kind of notice about this. I just saw it was posted. It was up there. People can see it. It can cause problems. We're a family. There's got to be a rule that, look, I don't take your embarrassing moments. And if I'll post stuff up about my kids and things like that, and they know that. But there have been things where I know that they would be embarrassed by that I would not post that up. And if I thought maybe they would, I would say, hey, do you mind if I post this? And we just have to have a rules of family that you got to say, hey, I'm going to post this up. Is that okay? Would you be upset by this?
Absolutely. The same thing with my family. I mean, I played a lot of pranks and done a lot of stuff on the air with Ann and my mom and all that. But I got permission, and at the end of the day, they knew it was a joke, and it wasn't something like we're trying to embarrass you and ruin your character.
And it's good-hearted in nature, and it's not like making your parents look terrible.
I don't like that.
That's what I have a problem with, because I'm over here paying the bills and being very kind to you. As soon as you want to be an asshole, guess what? I can be the biggest asshole. You'll never asshole me out. Well, I'll always be a bigger asshole.
And the thing I wonder about this, it might be a level of perspective too, because here we are, parents over 40. Here she is, 22 years old.
Sure.
And so at that age, it may be like going, hey, I'm bragging. Look how my parents tear it up. They party as hard as we do. And it's great. I love my parents. That's awesome. She may be looking at it that way rather than like, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Look at the terrible parents I have. So I don't know. The tone could have been either. But it
or
could have
somewhere
been,
in the middle.
Yeah, but it is kind of like for us being the parents over 40, it's like, all right, that's just not a look we want to do. Now, I'm not going to stop drinking. I will, but yeah, I'm like, okay, I can't give any ammunition on that kind of stuff, so I got to keep it together. If I'm going to have a cocktail, don't get to the point where you're like you were in any of those photos.
Yeah, you don't want to give your kids ammunition because you don't want it to mess them up, but not because they're going to secretly record you on TikTok and then publicly humiliate you. That shit don't fly.
Yeah, and that's the reality for some families.
Fuck that.
You probably need to have a family policy on what is allowed to get posted, and we have a system of approval before something gets posted up, because you can really hurt family, betray family.
Hurt their job?
Yeah, cause problems with jobs, not to mention, too, kids getting into colleges. I know, had some stories from, my kids have gone through it where kids have posted stuff up on social media, and it cost them getting into certain schools. The school even told them, said, everything was fine. You had the grades, you had the SAT scores. We went back onto your social media and we saw a couple things, and we just don't think you fit what we want out of it. And when it's that competitive, some kids will not get into a choice university because of something they posted.
And one of the number one comments I would see would be people, defending the person who would post it and make the person who looked bad, oh, you did a great job. If your parents or your family members didn't want to, be shamed, they shouldn't have acted like that. And the only thing I would say to that is, if you've grown up with a family, everyone's going to have some pretty bad moments at one time. Someone's going to be low and do or say something and act shitty. That's called being a human. Do you really want to fuck your family over like that?
Right.
I don't like that.
You got to have a feeling in families, too, that, like, we got each other's back. I am going to protect you, not only just physically, but also mentally in your image as well.
And the amount of balls that it would take for them to use the phone I pay for to post pictures to shame me, it would be a real dark couple of months in my house.
You just wouldn't do that in my family. You just know that's the ultimate betrayal. You keep it in the family.
Yeah, so that has definitely changed the tone in the Ralston household. So yeah, we're off the party train, probably for good. So.
Yeah, maybe as the kids get older and further distance themselves from the unit.
And it right. It may be, if we do that, then she can have a glass of wine and relax at some point. But.
So that's a no to the beer today? Okay, gotcha. All right. Write that off the list. A simple no would have been fine, but all right.
It's a long ass no.
That is.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to trigger anybody about their alcoholism.
Yeah. Well, it's just letting you know where the tone is.
Totally kidding.
Yeah.
It's real, y'all.
We just got to get the corona over with so we can get Virginia back into game form. You're all over the place. I don't like when you're like this.
It's tough. This corona's got everybody.
It does. It's got us all a little twisted, some more than others.
all weird and all over the place.
Everyone is getting a little weird.
Yeah, and the longer it goes on, the weirder motherfucker's gonna get.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it in your family. If you don't see it yet in your family, just go to the grocery store.
See it in your family. You fucking see it in yourself. I know I do.
Crazy times. Sure, talking social media, this isn't a surprise to anybody. They had this study that said that a new study found that if you enjoy making people feel angry or embarrassed, you're more likely to be addicted to social media. The ones who were the most addicted were more likely to be aggressive and do things like cyberbullying.
Trolls can't get enough.
They can't. It just, and a lot of it is they've done it. They've tracked the endorphins and the pleasure centers of the brain, and they can tell when they're triggered, and that's how they monitor these people. And you're just like, yeah, oh, that's great. Oh,
Gotcha.
Make them feel terrible. I love it. I feel so good about myself.
Oh, there's so many cocks on social media. Oh,
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me?
You are one of them, but there are so many dicky people on social media.
And their
get so-
conclusion, listen to this, was that social media platforms are basically set up to cater to people who seek rewards from being cruel. So that's what you get. It makes perfect sense when you look at it that way. It plays into their nature. They love it. It is a forum. It's their playpen.
You can fuck with people.
They walk away from it feeling so good.
They know they can get you.
It's a drug to them.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They're like, and it plays to their terrible nature, and
Evil.
that's why they love it.
Evil fuckers.
That's why they love it. Yeah. So it makes sense. Love it. Can't get enough. Saw that Instagram, too, is launching a feature called Reels, Reels, to compete with TikTok next month. So TikTok taking a big chunk of the pie. They're going to come after them.
Oh, I would punch myself in the dick for some pie.
Yeah? If that's the case, I will get you some pie right now.
Yeah.
But
I'd make a great video. Immediately when you give you the pie, you have to punch yourself, close fist, hard as you can, the tip of your dick.
give me a pie and I'm in.
Can you imagine if you're just walking by the window and you just see a guy in there punching himself in the dick? And
Denny's!
Well, hold on. You walk in, you see him get the pie. He's like, oh, yeah. And then he punches himself immediately.
Denny's, get 30 pies!
No, just one and done.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man. These nards aren't made of
Every
steel.
day I give you a pie, and every day you have to cold cock your own penis.
This is my new life.
Right around day 5, your dick would start hurting so bad.
Day 5?
Day 5.
Clearly, you don't have a dick.
Clearly.
Oh, my God. I'd say one and done. I'd probably be hard.
Really?
Yeah, well, imagine me punching you in your clit. And you would probably not like, or you punching yourself in that clit. I got to really clean up this mouth, don't I?
Some other interesting things that were out today, talking about the coronavirus and looking for some fun. They're talking about bringing float-in movies to South Florida this fall.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's cool until people start pissing everywhere.
Does everybody have to anchor their own boat and all that? Like,
Here's how it works, Virginia. I'll explain it to you.
well, tricky.
They're going to set up a massive screen at a location where they will take 12 to 24 mini boats holding up to 8 people per boat. So it doesn't sound like it's a BYOB. You go there and they give you a boat that would be sanitized that you would get in. There'll be a mix of new releases and movie classics they'll be showing. They'll offer free popcorn and other snacks available for purchase. And that's just it. You would, I guess, go out there. Now, do you have somebody driving you out there, or do you drive out yourself? That I don't know.
I love this idea. I think it sounds great. I can tell Virginia hates it.
Well, I just think it's going to be tricky because you're going to have different levels of boater. And if they're all trying to navigate this space and they're trying to drop anchor and social distance and all that, like, it's going to be tricky.
That might be why they might have a driver that would drive you out and, put you in the right spot, and then maybe they hop on something else, and then, how they would do that, I don't know.
I love it. I see you trying to work their positive K. I see negative V trying to shoot it.
He's working against it.
Sorry, I just shone the light
tell you why it
of
doesn't work.
realism on it.
I think it sounds like a great idea.
Have you ever been to Peanut Island? Not everybody knows how to anchor.
Yeah, and Peanut Island can get gross sometimes too if people get drunk.
That was the downfall. I did see some comments that some people had because I posted up the story on our Facebook yesterday, and some people were saying, people already dump a lot of trash in. Are people going to be trashing up the water and things like that? Is there going to be somebody's going to be going through and kind of cleaning up after the movie's done?
You look over there and there's a minnow choking on a popcorn box.
Yeah, not what you want to see. Not a great look. And somebody's also saying, too, that there's some places in South Florida that are already kind of doing this. This is just one company that's going to be bringing it to South Florida. But I think somebody's saying that, like in Martin County, maybe there's a place that's doing it. Blue Point or something like that. So, it'd be interesting to see if it takes off. It's a pretty good idea, and it got a lot of publicity on it. A lot of people were saying, yes, would you do it?
You know, it'd be cool if you showed Jaws, and then you had people in the water with fins and like hitting boats and shit. You're like, oh shit, kind of like an experience. That would be fun, no? All right, we'll write that off the list.
Yeah, Amber had said, they are doing this in Tequesta at the Blue Point Bar and Grill by the marina. And that is a hot spot. My daughter Caitlin was there at Blue Point the other night.
Yes, I've been there.
And she loves it because they're open till 2. And so, she lives in Boca and everything's shutting down in Palm Beach County at 11 p.m.
Let's go to Blue Point.
So now she's discovered that if she wants to get her late night drink on, you got to go to Martin County.
So that is literally like real close to my house.
Yeah.
Like I've been there many times. What they are is they are a bar on the water with a swimming pool. It's all open air. It's really quite lovely.
I can see your house from that picture.
No, you can't. I live real close to that. I love that little spot. It's adorable.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Before Corona, it was a great place to go and bring the kids because you can sit and have your meal and have your cocktails, and the kids can be in the pool splashing around and playing, and it's all open air, and it's lovely.
That pool looked nice.
It looked real nice.
Yeah.
I got what you had. I got the pool. I got bit by the pool.
Look, there is nothing, I think, more special than having a pool in your backyard. Every day, I'm pissed that I don't get to experience that because it becomes a focal point. Everything can happen in the backyard now. You cook around it. The kids have their friends over. You're out there. It's beautiful. It's relaxing. You get in it and you just,
Damn, you could hear she really wants a pool.
I know she does, man. You got to move.
Nah.
I wanted it so bad.
Damn, was that one of your greatest disappointments in the last 10 years?
Definitely.
Wow.
Oof.
Definitely. And then when you think about the money that I spent trying to get the adjustment to the property laws, only to find out that it's actually, not the property laws I needed to change, but the HOA that I needed to change because that bitch Connie that used to work in the office fucking had me running on a wild goose chase for no damn good reason.
That bitch Connie.
Connie, if I see your ass, you're dead.
That sounds like a great name for a TV show, doesn't it?
That bitch Connie.
Reel it in, Sinicki, reel it in.
Well,
How much did you spend that you basically just pissed out the window?
$7,000.
Oh,
You
that
7,000
sucks.
and nothing. So that's 7,000 to do all of that.
Yep.
Only to say no. You got a $7,000 no.
$7,000 was what I had to pay the attorney to get the change on the property.
Yeah.
So I did it because Connie told me I should. And I did it because Connie told me she encouraged me to do it. But all the whole time, Connie, I don't know what this moron was thinking. She didn't have the right to tell me to do any of that because it's in the bylaws of the HOA that you can't have the property rezoned.
That bitch Connie.
Bitch Connie.
What if you found out the reason why she did that? Because she's a huge Mo and Sally fan. They're like, oh, fuck you, Virginia.
I would want to fight her.
That's amazing. Well, that's an amazing, heartbreaking, but amazing.
It's real. It's real pain too. And I mean, I can go back and look at my emails. I met with Connie in November. We sat down in her office. I have the whole paper trail of her telling me to come into the office. But the problem was I didn't have a paper trail of her telling me to do all these things. That was a face-to-face meeting where she told me face-to-face, yeah, pursue it. Get the lawyer. Try to get all the property zone changed and do all that. If I would have had all that in writing, I would have a better legal foot to stand on to sue Connie and to sue my HOA.
That bitch Connie.
That bitch Connie.
$7,000 is tough to part with. That's a lot of money for just to say no.
Yep.
Wow.
That's
damn,
tough.
damn dog. I'm sorry.
Yep. It sucks.
And you're stopping drinking?
Right? Got to rethink this, Virginia.
That shit makes me want to pour a glass.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. It just got real.
Nah, that bitch Connie is a great quote.
That bitch Connie.
I gotta write that down.
Jamie's got a question for you, Virginia. She said, if you don't mind answering, does Panda get his testosterone from his doctor like a primary, or does he go to a particular place like a health center to get checked and receive these injections? Asking for a friend with a 48-year-old plus boyfriend.
So he does both. You know, we have a primary that requests to see his blood work, and that probably happens once a year. But he goes to Nouveau Health and Wellness on Clematis Street, and they are like a clinic that specializes in you know, keeping you youthful. And there's a bunch of things you can do to keep yourself youthful. Yeah. But the hormones for dudes is one of those things, the testosterone, that you really do notice instantaneously. He goes there and does blood work, I think every 6 months. Okay. And they monitor it to make sure that all his levels are in check. You should never, ever do it without blood work monitoring, be it by your primary care physician or by a clinic that's doing it. You always have to have that blood work monitoring.
Knowing my personality and at the age I'm at, if I was to do something like that, what do you think the benefits would be for someone like myself?
I would be fascinated to see how you respond to testosterone because you have really good genetics. You already have great muscle tone. If you started doing testosterone and just lifting a little bit of weights, I think you'd be a ripped MFer.
Yeah.
What else do you like about me?
Greek god.
Well, what if you did that and you just did cardio? Would you get shredded or would you just look like a gaunt?
I think dudes have to do a little bit of weights, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, to get muscle, you have to, you know, the concept of building muscle, you got to basically tear muscle, and then when it heals, it comes back bigger. So you have to have that process of something.
But would something like that help me with injury? Like just feeling banged up? Would I wake up and not feeling like I'm Hulk Hogan, age 60?
I think so.
I get out of bed and it looks like I'm walking on ice.
There's other stuff that, you know, people take for injury, I think, more than the testosterone, the hormone replacement. The, what is it? The
joint lubricant. You might need like some glucosamine and chondroitin.
Yeah, but there was, what was it? A-Rod was HGH, something like that.
I think all the Yankees are taking on.
Yeah, which to me is, I think it's a little bit different testosterone. Because when I first started, I had done a little bit of both, and they were separate. They were different things.
Yeah, I don't think I can take any of that stuff because of just having the one kidney. I'm not sure. There's stuff I'm not supposed to take because of that, and I'm wondering if that would be it.
That would be a good question, though, to ask, and start with your kidney doctor and ask them and say, hey, if I wanted to do HGH or testosterone or like...
I don't think I do. The only reason why I bring it up, I always hear these older wrestlers who are in their late 40s, early 50s, and they just say how much energy it gives them. They were feeling just how they were losing energy. Yeah. They're saying it gives them kind of like a boost of that.
Quality of life is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you trying to just get the fuck out of here.
You could go with Panda. You could go with Kevin. You got a lot of options.
I was just curious on an educational level. I'm not doing it.
You might want to watch wearing those onesies, though, if you do, because it kicks up your libido, and you have those teenage boners pop up again. So
I already have teenage boners, I feel like.
Well, I feel like... I think some men you can just tell by looking at them, they're not lacking in testosterone. And some men, you can look at them and tell they are lacking in testosterone. And I don't think you're lacking in testosterone.
Not for horniness, no. I wake up with morning boners all the time. And I still have a horniness about
If
me.
you started doing testosterone, you'd be back fucking the sofa again.
No, I can't. We got during a pandemic, I'm already kind of going a little crazy as it is. Don't load me up with sex juice.
It's torturous.
Yeah.
He can't stick anything.
How was that pizza you ordered? I don't know. I fucked it.
And then I felt so dirty.
Oh, you would feel so dirty after it's over.
Just look at the mutilated pie.
What have I done?
Immediately, as soon as you're
I'm a
done,
monster.
you go, oh my gosh.
I'm a monster.
I fucked the pizza. Again.
I'm an animal. Something that would not recommend when it comes to the health and wellness. People are starting to rail on Dr. Miami. He's the doctor that has been doing the drive-through Botox out of his driveway.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
I saw a news report where some health experts are saying, you can't be doing drive-through Botox. It's not safe. You got to have that cleanliness factor. I mean, people are driving up in dirty cars. You don't know what's going on in there.
People go crazy for their Botox, man.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. You should never do Botox on a Groupon. You should never do drive-through Botox. Like, you've got to go to somebody who's either a master injector or has a lot of experience injecting, because you can hit a nerve and make somebody's whole entire face go limp like they have the palsy. That is not a good look. You're trying to get rid of wrinkles and now you look like you're paralyzed on the face.
Yeah.
That is not cute.
Not cute at all.
Don't mess around with discount injectables. Please, people.
Or just accept your crow's feet.
Never.
Just accept that. It's part of the aging process.
Nah, I'm not going there.
We all got to talk to father time or mother time. I'm not trying to be sexist.
This is an interesting story. Peter Turchin is a mathematician from the University of Connecticut, and he analyzed history between the years 1780 and 2010, and he claimed to find a trend of unrest about every 50 years. Back in 2012, he actually concluded from his research of the United States that around the year 2020 and probably in 2020, we would have some major upheaval, at least more than we had had in the previous 50 years. People are now pulling out his research and saying, wow, this guy kind of nailed it. He listed economic inequality as one of the problems that causes a surge in social issues. You look back even at other countries. I know, back with the French Revolution, that was a big part of it, was social inequality, the haves and the have-nots, and there was a huge gap between the two. When the middle class starts to erode, that seems like when a lot of societies start to have unrest and issue. After violent events, he said a 20 to 30-year rest period occurs with people trying to quell the violence before things then bubble up again. Now, some other academics have disputed this 50-year theory, but people are saying, well, you put it out in 2012, and this would be pretty good evidence that he was right in his findings.
It's fascinating to think about, but, who knows?
And everybody knows The Simpsons, the cartoon, they predict everything. That's who predicts everything.
That's true. Not this guy who's put math and numbers to it.
I'm just kidding. The Simpsons do oddly predict a lot of weird things, though.
Yeah, I wonder too, because I did see the one time where somebody was they were just trying to make it fit. It was kind of like square peg, round hole, and I was like, okay.
You can do that too.
Yeah, and I felt like some of them were kind of, manipulated a little bit, just trying to make it look like it worked. And I was like, I don't know if that's really it. Did get an email about the masks, and it said, because earlier we're talking about, am I the jerk? Somebody had made mention to staff at a place where they went, sounded like a grocery store that was not properly doing the masks. And said, well, maybe what you can do is instead of having a confrontation there where they're just waiting to whip out their cameras and get you going all Karen, is to go and anonymously report, depending upon which county you're in and what your restrictions are. But somebody said, if you think that calling code enforcement will help with improper mask usage, you'd be wrong. After 15 calls to the governor's office 2 weeks later, they called back. Code enforcement does not jump into a car and immediately rush to check out offenders. Nevertheless, anytime you visit Walmart Congress Avenue, you will almost always find employees, including managers, incorrectly wearing masks. Calling the headquarters will only get a long wait to have them document the issue, not correct it.
Yeah, if you're talking Walmart, doesn't everybody know you just go in there and you take whatever happens?
Walmart doesn't care about your feelings.
Doesn't give a fuck about your feelings.
They didn't care before Corona, and they don't care now.
They especially don't care when you want cologne and they can't find the key. Because you know why, Virginia? Keith took the key home with him.
Keith.
Yeah, and they're citing the Walmart Congress Avenue, and yeah, I think it really depends upon where you are. I think that if you are in Miami-Dade, I think they're kind of sending out, in fact, I was reading the story, they sent out 100 code enforcers. They went out to various places that were supposed to have the restrictions, and they came back with an ass load of violations they wrote up and fines. Broward County, they had that dashboard in the website, and it sounds like when you report it, they then send, and they were sending 10 at a time, code enforcers out on Friday nights to see what was going on. And that's how they were doing it. I haven't heard about that kind of enforcement in Palm Beach County, which you're referencing. So, yeah, right now, if you are not in Miami-Dade or Broward, it doesn't sound like the enforcement is very strict. But again, are you going to do any good by you trying to call them out and shame them? And it would be unfortunate if it's a store. There are some stores where I get my stuff here, and the next store where I can get my stuff is 25 minutes away or 30 minutes away.
You know what, lady? Here's what I'd suggest. Go home, make yourself a drink, put your feet in the tub. The one woman who got home.
Sounds like a suicide.
No.
Draw a warm bath, grab your razor blade, slice open your wrists.
The woman that emailed earlier
Say
about
a silent prayer.
she's getting all mad and everything, and the people
And
want
just drift off into
Just
the great beyond.
drift off.
just go home and make yourself a drink and fucking lighten up. My God.
Uh-huh.
Just take care of you.
There you
Do
go.
what you're supposed to be doing, and don't be the police of the world trying to correct everybody else, because you're just going to be disappointed. When you have all these expectations on people in Walmart to behave appropriately, and you're going to get all bent when they're not, your expectations are out of line. It's you.
Newsflash. Walmart is probably going to let you down.
Walmart don't give a F.
They're going to probably...
They're rolling back prices and rolling over your feelings.
If you go into Walmart expecting a 5-star experience, the problem is not Walmart. It is you.
Stop yelling at people in public. You're not going to change people. They're going to do stupid shit.
Got another email, too. Want to remain anonymous, talking about restaurants. My restaurant had to shut down for 2 days to clean, and what happens is that these restaurants knowingly have COVID-positive staff members in the building, and they've neglected to do anything.
My goodness, that's tough to hear.
It's very disappointing, and I can personally attest to this. I don't feel safe knowing that my whole management staff is lying and withholding vital health information that could potentially create a hot spot. I've been told by multiple coworkers that we have had employees test positive, yet the restaurant is doing nothing about this. You know, there are some reports like that. I know that there was a Reddit thread of somebody who works at a theme park, I believe in Florida somewhere, that was saying, yeah, they're not reporting it, but we have a lot of staff members that are getting sick and, you know, issues that are happening. And so, you know, it's not verified, and people don't want to slap their names to it because they're afraid to, you know, lose jobs and the such. But yeah, it's... who knows? It's going to be interesting. But what I had said yesterday was if there are 6 different kinds of coronavirus, you know, what are we getting? You know, are you passing around something that might be the equivalent of a bad cold or the flu, or are you passing around something that could be life-threatening? So I guess you got to find out.
Yeah.
It's the tough part about it.
We're still very early in this, and that's the bad news. Like, this ain't as bad as it's going to get.
Well, you just might have to rethink your idea of, I don't know, because you're right. Everyone already seems annoyed this is going on so long, but it might be going on longer than we thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently it is.
And when I mean longer, I'm just talking about just the weirdness of it not being normal again. I'm not saying everyone's going to get corona. I'm just saying the
weirdness of life.
Yeah.
It's not going to end anytime soon. So you kind of have to come to grips with it and realize this is my reality for now. I can't change it. So I'm going to stop letting it make me all tweaky and squirrely. I just got to accept it
I was kind of thinking about that. There was some things I've been wanting to do, even for KVJ, that would involve getting a bunch of people together and filming that I was really excited about doing, and I just don't see that happening.
You can't.
Yeah, the reality really hits that might be a while before that happens.
I was looking through our pictures. The last big thing we did all together with a bunch of listeners was that MacArthur Beach cleanup.
Yeah.
Right,
That was
yeah.
the last big time. We had, from the picture, it looked like we had about 80 people that were out there that day with us doing the beach cleanup. That's the last time we gathered.
Well, I was pretty optimistic because Positive K was talking about doing social distance, maybe social distance karaoke or something. But after we had that big old Zoom meeting with the company, I don't know if they're going to give us the green light. I don't know. Maybe they would if Kev talked to him, but I don't see that happening.
I just don't see it being safe. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, you got to look and make sure, as a host or hostess, that you are safe.
Well,
And-
we're just not in that place
Right.
For sure.
now. Just where the news is and people are, still kind of watching. I think the biggest thing is, where we've been with the death numbers. That is what has been the most troubling. In fact, more than 1,100 Americans died of the coronavirus yesterday. That was the highest daily total since late May.
1,100.
Yeah, that is the national number on that. Was 1,100. And here in the state of Florida, we've had it tough the last couple of weeks as well. We had 136 deaths yesterday. That was the 6th day with over 100 deaths since July 9th. So until that number starts going down and chilling, then probably not going to be doing that socially distanced cocktails and karaoke, unfortunately.
For sure.
Somebody in the chat room said, too, there was a restaurant in Miami Lakes that had that where, people were testing positive for coronavirus. And you open up and you got to slam right back shut. That's the tough thing, and that's the discussion about schools.
That's got to be shitty to gear up. And you're like, all right, we're back. You're prepping food, and then a week later, nope.
You're shut.
That sucks.
Well, like I said, there's 3 more Duffys opening up today, and they're starting to, one by one. A lot of the ones around me now are open, thankfully, and they're starting to get sports back again, which is a big engine for Duffy's. So they're doing that. But it sounds like they really started slow to be like, okay, let's get it right here. Let's not open all of them and then slam them all shut. Let's do a few at a time and look good. Okay, let's open up 3 more. Let's open up 3 more. And so they're doing that. So those Duffys are starting to open up near you. Talking amusement parks, a lot of people said, Kennywood, that Jaybird had mentioned in Pennsylvania. My grandpa lived 5 minutes away from there, and I go there at least twice each summer when I visit Pittsburgh. My favorite ride was the Jackrabbit, which was a coaster that actually hopped off the track. Well, that sounds dangerous.
That's the one. Yeah, they talked about this. The Jackrabbit sounds very familiar.
Mm-hmm. They also had the most awesome French fries at the Potato Patch stand. So pretty cool. Brought back a lot of memories. That's from Amanda in Lake Worth.
I got a few people that had heard of Kennywood. I remember I was 8 years old, and my grandma at the time, she was dating this guy named Kernsey. And Kernsey came. We all went to Kennywood together. All the kids, my mom, my dad, Kernsey, my grandma. And Kernsey had this really neat trick. He had this this rolling device, not for weed.
Rolling papers?
He'd take this piece of paper, like this wax paper, and put it through this rolling thing, and then out would come $100 bill. And he did this trick for all of the kids and gave us all $100 bill. And then we all went out to Kennywood and just fucking spent on candy and marshmallows.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
But what this shit was Kernsey doing? Was Kernsey into some weird
It was like counterfeiting. Yeah.
Turns out Kernsey was wanted by the FBI.
Wow.
Kernsey was awesome. I mean, you give an 8-year-old $100 bill.
Kernsey the counterfeiter.
Oh my gosh, I would love to know because 8 years old.
Who else gives an 8-year-old $100 bills unless it's fake?
He was awesome, man.
And you got stuff out of it when you handed him the $100 bill?
It was real money. Yeah,
That's a lot of money even for that time, though.
It was. I think Kernsey had some money. I think Kernsey came from money. I do.
Well, maybe Kernsey had some black market money.
No, I think
some shady underworld dealings.
I think Kernsey liked to make people laugh, and Kernsey did a magic trick. I think it was a magic thing.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it was
And he clearly liked children.
I don't think it was counterfeit, right? Don't make First of all, you fuckers are making Kernsey way dirty, and he wasn't.
Was Kernsey his first name or last name?
I'm sorry I brought it. I hope my dad doesn't listen to this. He was very tight.
Currency knows how to get a crowd of kids around him.
Was Kernsey his stepdad?
I don't want to talk about this anymore. Here, I'm trying to.
Did you have to sit on his lap to get it or anything like that?
Don't think
Was
Currency.
that a Currency trick?
Currency was not dirty, okay? Currency was a cool dude.
When he tried to give you the $100 bill, would he drop it on the ground first?
He made me work for it. No, come on.
Did he give you a pair of short pants for that $100?
Do we have to hypnotize you and find out that Kernsey actually diddled your nuts?
I'm really.
Did you regressed the
Why?
memory?
My dad can't hear this. He really can't. No, seriously. We're getting into dangerous territory. We're gonna hurt feelings.
Kernsey can't hear this.
Wait, Currency's dead, dog.
Oh,
Shit.
I didn't even know he was sick.
His sins went to the grave with him.
We can't dirty up his memory. We can't.
Well, now we're understanding why it was so much fun.
Every now and
I
then,
have a feeling he had his own ride called the Jackrabbit.
every now and then my dad will tune into the podcast, and it never goes well. Sorry, Dad.
You want to take a ride on the Jackrabbit, kid? Here's $100 for you.
Just tell your dad, don't listen to July 22nd.
Yeah.
Just tell him.
Jaber was only 8 when he learned what hush money was all about.
I expected shit from Sinicki, but not you, Ralston.
I mean, come on. You just described every story that you get in the news.
Currency gave me money from this weird device, and
$100
It's called grooming.
to all these kids, yes. I mean, you just laid out the
All right.
textbook. I mean, all the way through.
Dad, I'm so sorry if you're
They
listening.
didn't have like a real name. It's Kernsey. I mean, a lot of things going on here. Wow. Wanted to read off an email we got here. I want to know if you could give a memorial shout out for a great guy, Bradley Singleton. He was a very important figure in the Martin County music scene who just passed away. He had no enemies and had a massive heart. Everyone in Jensen is devastated. There will be a memorial service at Taco Tiki in Jensen Beach on August 1st.
His name was Bradley, you said?
His name, yes, Bradley Singleton.
Well, rest in peace, Bradley.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, and,
That sucks.
yeah, left a lot of friends behind. So there you go. And wanted to also give you a note as well about Little Smiles is doing the Secret Santa parade that they got going on. A little Christmas in July is what it is all about. And they're going to be trying to get some great stuff for the kids. And there is going to be a holiday parade through the Heights. It's going to be starting at 10 a.m. on July 25th, coming up this Saturday.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we could all use right now. A little Santa, a little magic in our lives, a little happy. So what it is we've got a whole parade. Little Smiles has put together a whole parade that's going to be driving through the Heights, and everybody is encouraged to hang out in their own driveway, socially distanced, of course, and safe. And Santa will be rolling through. You can donate. It's so super easy. We're starting the toy collection early this year because we know the need is going to be so great for Little Smiles to be able to give toys to kids. It's great all year round, but we know it's going to be way higher, the demand this year. So it's easy to donate. You just text Little Smiles to 44321, and you can donate any amount that'll help us give toys to kids.
I love that idea. I think it's awesome.
It's a free parade. Who doesn't want a free parade rolling through your neighborhood during Corona when you can't go leave and have no fun anyway?
That was the cool thing about living in Lake Park. We lived off of Park Avenue, and they would have the big Lake Park parade, but you could watch it from your living room.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Hell yeah.
That's the way
that's
to
fun.
live.
Hell yeah. Lake Park.
Yeah, kids love it out there. You know who else would love it? Kernsey.
Oh,
Should never told that story.
Kernsey loves a parade. Lots
He's-
of kids.
Fistful of hundreds.
When I think Kennywood, I think Kernsey. I should have never told that story.
All right, thank y'all for locking in. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.